Well, greetings everyone. Today I want to talk to you about something that's very important and special to me. Celebrating the African American history and uplifting the African American community. First, let's talk about why this is important. First of all, we must. It's needed and it does not happen enough. When you think about it, we are a resilient race. We are warriors, kings and queens, princesses and princesses. We have a tremendous value to this world, both past, present, and the future. Let's talk about why we must uplift the black community. We must because, again, it does not happen enough. Let's introduce the concept of internalized and self-mediated racism. This is so important, and I see this playing out in so many aspects of today's society when I interact with young black and brown youth in particular. It is the conscious and unconscious acceptance of the negative stereotypes placed on us, as well as this notion of this racial hierarchy that exists in society. Self-mediated, internalized racism, seeing that play out day in and day out regarding us as the African American community, black and brown kids in particular, kind of feeling less than or having less perhaps motivation because of acceptance again of these racial and negative stereotypes placed on us. We have all become familiar within the year 2020 of all the racial injustices and systematic oppression that exist in our society. Again, this is the year 2020 where we've all hopefully become more aware that this is still existing in our society today. And as you can clearly see, is evident in the black and brown community that racial oppression, systemic oppression exists. And we must understand that this nation was built on the backs of slavery and racism. And yet, some 400 plus years later, we are still fighting for equality and equity. Again, internalized, self-mediated racism. Think about that. Young people kind of embracing and accepting this notion that yes, you're not equal. You are not meant to achieve higher and great things. However, when you look at the race of the African American community and African Americans in this country, we are a resilient race. There are many things, when you think about it, to celebrate and rejoice over in terms of how far we have come and the struggles we have had to endure and the roads to get to this point. We have had to overcome so many obstacles and fight against so many adversities where folks had this resistance against us achieving. Yet, look at all the great achievements we have had. In spite of, there have been many great contributions from African Americans. We have had in science, technology, education, sports, health and wellness, law, etc. When you look at the history, how many great contributions we have given to this society and we continue to make in this world, and the difference and the positive contributions that we are having in the lives of so many through our efforts and through us feeling that we are empowered to do so. We have a tremendous value to this world. We must do our part to intentionally affirm the beauty and value of the black and brown community. We must embrace that we understand and are aware that we have tremendous value to this world, past, present, and future. We must do our part to intentionally affirm the beauty and value of the black and brown community. We must work together and truly focus on black empowerment. We have to uplift our communities. Again, think about what's always at play here. This self-mediated, internalized racism. This feeling, conscious or unconscious, where, hey, we're less than. We're not meant to achieve great things. We know in the history of this country, we have achieved great things and we continue to achieve great things in spite of all of the resistance and adversities we face. So we have to affirm that. We have to instill hope in our communities that we can overcome, we shall overcome, and we have overcome so much adversity. I must say, I remain hopeful. We have overcome and we will continue to overcome all adversities, intentional and unintentional barriers put in our way that impede our progress. We will overcome. We will take full responsibility for our lives by demanding and commanding more from ourselves and others who are entrusted with authority and responsibility over us. We are destined for greatness. Remember that. That is affirming. We are destined for greatness. We have achieved a great deal in this country, and we will continue to achieve. Think about President Obama's famous speech on race. A more perfect union for the African American community. That path means embracing burdens of our past without becoming victims of our past. It means continuing to insist on a full measure of justice in every aspect of the American life. So let's celebrate. Let's rejoice in our rich heritage and contributions. Let's not look back, focus too much on the past, but let's be present and focused on our bright futures. Together, we are the answer. We have power and we have purpose. So let's celebrate and let's rejoice as we uplift the Black African American community. Thank you.